Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by Squarespace. Now, I've been using Squarespace for JaredPolin.com for well over 10 years.
10 years!
The reason I've been using Squarespace for my own portfolio for that long is it's just so damn simple to use. It's simply drag, drop, and go, and no coding is still needed. In fact, it took me less than 5 minutes to put up this gallery of my poison photos. It doesn't get much more simple than that. If you don't have a website just yet, I know you can have a website up in a matter of minutes. For real, give it a try. To get your 14-day free trial, head on over to squarespace.com/FroKnowsPhoto, and if you decide that it's for you, use the code FroKnowsPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. First up, remember a while back when Canon released new firmware for the R3 and then had to pull it? Well, that will never happen again, I thought, right?
Hey, hold my beer.
Well, last week Canon released a major firmware update for the R5C and has since pulled it due to a bug spotted by some users. So what's the issue? If you were in photo mode and selected C1, C2, or C3 custom modes, the camera would think that you activated the pixel shift feature, leaving you with much larger files and probably hindering your shooting ability. Now, I don't have an R5C in the studio to test this on, but I'm not sure if a simple fix might be switching out of C1, C2, or C3, but I would also think that most people using this camera are using it for videos and not stills, but that doesn't excuse the fact that a bug does exist. Now, it did take Canon more than a week to acknowledge the issue and pull the firmware. Thankfully, it's not a bug that's bricking cameras, but it is something that should have been addressed sooner. Now, if you're one of the 23 people who actually own an R5C, let me know if you ran into this issue down below. Next up, Sony Alpha Rumors is claiming something is official, with it not actually being official, like for real official.
Our unofficial source.
It's more like pretend official, you know, because they said it. Phone call, I wonder who that could be. I don't care, because it's probably not official anyway. Let it ring, Dan. Send it to voicemail.
Please leave a message.
Anyway, the rumor is that Sony has registered two, count it, high-end cameras in China that both have 2.4 and 5.1 gigahertz support. One camera was registered on June 25th, with the other being registered on March 1st. They claim that the March 1st camera is the A6700, and the June 25th camera might be the A7C II. Personally, I don't think there's much need for an A7C II over the A7 IV unless, and this is unless, the A7C II receives a new AI processor for autofocus, because that thing's pretty good. Now, if it gets that, it's a whole different story. Now, I know people keep talking about an A9 III, but the pros that I talk to who shoot Sony want an A1 II. They never want to go back from 50 megapixels now that they have it because they absolutely love it. The A1 is still one of the most insane cameras ever produced. Now, if these rumors are true, Sony Alpha Rumors says that the A6700 would be announced around July 12th and the A7C II or whatever was registered around October. Like with all news from Sony Alpha Rumors, they might be off by a day, a month, or in the case of the A6700, 3 years. Speaking of poo poo poo, Steven's on vacation this week, but don't fret, we recorded a new FroKnowsPhoto Raw Talk podcast before he went away, which will be live on Friday, or it's already live if it's more than 2 days after this video went live. Head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/podcast or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And finally, we have two Nikon stories. One that won't get me yelled at, and the other that's probably already gotten me yelled at because of the title that I chose for the Photo News Fix.
It's unauthorized clickbait.
Anyway, last week when Nikon introduced the 180-600, they also quietly rolled out the 70-180 2.8. The 70-180 2.8 is a uniquely Nikon and only Nikon lens. Now, this is the 70-180. No one else could ever produce something like Nikon just did. The Tamron 70-180 2.8 lens. Phone call. Oh, I wonder who that could be. Hello? Oh, it's Tonisha with Tamron PR. Oh, you guys have a 70-180 2.8 and Nikon simply rehoused your lens and is charging more? Got it. Thank you, Tonisha. Have a good day. Anyway, the 70-180 2.8 is a smart lens and completes the trinity of affordable Nikon/Tamron Z mount lenses. There was the 17-28 2.8, the 28-75 2.8, and now the 70-180 2.8. Now think about about it. If you grabbed a Nikon Z70 or 200 2.8, you'd be spending anywhere from $2,400 to $2,700, depending on the sales and rebates that are running at that time. Now, the affordable Trinity would set you back a little over $3,000, but that $3,000 would be well spent on 2.8 glass that's going to be with you for years and years to come. Now, as soon as I get my hands on a 70 to 180 from Nikon, I'll take it out into the real world and give it a testy McTesterson. Maybe I'll smash it open and see if it says Tamron inside. How about them apples?
Do you like apples?
And now for the second Nikon story, Nikon has issued a service advisory, aka a recall for the Z8.
Recall, recall, recall.
The advisory states, users of the Z8 camera have informed us that in some rare cases, a lens cannot be mounted on the camera because the lens cannot be rotated to the locked position. Based on our investigation into the matter, it has become clear that the issue may occur with Z8 cameras.
I don't like the sound of them apples, Will.
We've identified a range of Z8 camera serial numbers with which the issue may occur and will address the issue as follows. They go on to say they will repair any affected camera at no cost to the customer, including all shipping and handling to and from, and if it's out of warranty, which it probably shouldn't be because it's only a month old now, they will honor the repair. Now, I have a Z8. Let's see if mine has been recalled. And by mine, I mean the loaner that Nikon gave me to use for a while. Anyway, let's enter the serial number, hit search, and yep, mine's been recalled. Now, thankfully, I haven't run into any issues with mine, with any lenses not being able to rotate, but I will be sure to swap it out with Nikon as soon as possible. And good on Nikon for recognizing a potential issue and offering an acceptable solution quickly. And there you have it, Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.